It's a inherited a genetic disease called polycystic kidney disease. My grandfather died of it, and it went into a brain tumor. My mother died in her 40s. She had polycystic kidney disease before, we call it PKD, before transplantation was a commonplace thing like it is today. I didn't really test at that time because I had this attitude like, if you can't do anything for it, why are we going to test for it? And I was working on my graduate degree in cultural anthropology and doing field work in Latin America. And when I really found out that I was the one with it, I was in Honduras, at Copan, Honduras, and had taken a little van up to the top of the mountain that was just over rocks. And when I got to the top of the mountain, I couldn't stand up because my back was so hurt and I was bleeding, and did all that trouble to get there and couldn't even go see the ruins.
Organ donation is globally the process by which we take organs from one individual to allow for a transplant of another.
One organ donor can save 9 lives, and that's a real powerful message.
When we think of organ donations, there's really 2 broad categories: living donors and then deceased donors. And the living donors are people who can give either one organ, such as one kidney, or a part of an organ, such as a liver, to help someone else survive a critical illness and receive a transplant.
My 4th grader first met Peggy during Vacation Bible School one summer.
I knew her through our church. I knew her through church before I knew she was a FIMU.
One day I was standing outside talking to Peggy, and she had on this little necklace, hers like this.
And she said, "Oh, were you a FIMU?" And of course, we have a saying that you never were a FIMU. I always answer, "Yes, I am a FIMU."
So about that time, Mary came home. She goes, "Miss Peggy's really sick, Mom. She needs a kidney."
My husband wanted to donate. My sister wanted to donate. My daughter.
We were at a church function, and I walked up to Peggy, and I asked her how her search for her donor was going, and she said it wasn't going well at all, that no one had really panned out, could pass the test or anything.
The number of people waiting for organs has gone up dramatically. In fact, it's over 100,000 people in this country waiting for organs today, and that number continues to grow. So that the number of people waiting for transplants far exceeds the number of organs available for transplant.
One night I just couldn't sleep. That's all I could think about was she needed something that I had, and I would give it to her. I knew my next hurdle would be my husband. I didn't know if he would go for it. But I told him one night, I said, "You know, Peggy King is still real sick, and she really needs a kidney." And I said, "I have her kidney." And he said, "Well, are you sure, Sheree?" I said, "Something just keeps telling me I'm the person." And so I called Peggy the next morning, and I said, "How's the kidney hunt coming?" And she said, "Oh, Sheree, I'm on the list now for, I could have a kidney." And I said, "I don't think you have to be, because I have your kidney."
And I said, "Have you really talked to Jerry about this and thought about it? Because it's a huge decision, Sheree." And Sheree's very spiritual, and she said, "Well, I'm going to pray about it, and I'd like to be tested. And if the testing is a match, then I'm going to look at that as a sign that maybe that I should do this."
Peggy told me that the doctor told her that my kidney was so good, we should take it, that we should go for it. And we did.
Sheree donated a kidney to me because she was a FIMU. And let me tell you what I mean by that. That because of her qualities and her character, she's the type of person we look for in members. I mean, the first line of our creed is to lend to those less fortunate a helping hand, to be to others what they would be to us. And I think it is the fact that Sheree actually lives that creed, that she probably would have done this for anybody that she cared about, that she did it because she was a good FIMU who lived that creed.
I feel like I've accomplished what I set out to do, and that was to keep her alive and to let her enjoy a quality life.
Peggy is a really good example of somebody who has gotten that second chance at life and is now giving back to the community in a really strong and powerful way.
I think it is absolutely awesome that FIMU Foundation has picked up this project to educate our members, both the alumni and collegians, just about the process of donation and what's involved with it, and dispel some of the myths.
People worry that if they came in to see a doctor or were brought into an emergency room after an accident, that there may be a pressure to not treat them and to have them become an organ donor, and nothing could be further from the truth.
The medical emergency responders, they are there to save your life. That is their first and primary goal and responsibility. They all take oaths for that. And the transplant community is not anywhere to be found during that life-threatening situation. The transplantation or donation doesn't even come into play until all options for sustaining life have been exhausted.
It's important for people to understand that it's a very structured national waiting list, and organs offered for transplantation are given to the people most in need. Sometimes the people who've been waiting the longest, other times people who are most at risk of dying without a life-saving transplant.
The biggest problem is that the transplant waiting list is growing at an alarming rate, and the donation rate is really pretty flat. And so the big thing is trying to make people aware of the critical need to just sign up and register. Saying yes is what saves lives.
It's just the most awesome power to know that you have the ability to have a laparoscopic surgery and take somebody off of dialysis, put them back on the road to travel and enjoy life and be well and live. I just can't think of a better reason and a more powerful reason to want to do this. If I could do it for anybody right now, I would donate to anybody for anything, and will, and it's on my driver's license.
It's so simple, and it's something that none of us want to think about on a day-to-day basis. None of us think about the unexpected. But by taking the time out of your day to talk to other people about the rewards of organ donation and about the fact that people who receive transplants go on to do normal things.
You know, we look at the things in society that we admire, you know, community service and giving back. I mean, this to me is the ultimate in giving back. You know, you're not using this anymore. Give it to somebody who can have a second chance at life.
When you think about the power you have to change somebody's life from being very, very sick and tied to a dialysis machine or incapacitated to live their life, and at no risk to at very little risk to yourself, you can change that person into a healthy person who's free to live life and enjoy life. It's just incredible, really, totally incredible. And I am so grateful to have had that these past 8 years that I have had. I wouldn't trade them for anything.